3 minutes ago, Senator Amy Klobuchar pulled off something no one saw coming. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't bang papers or turn it into drama. She just eased forward to the mic, fixed her gaze on FBI Director Kash Patel, and spoke 6 words that sucked the air right out of the room. Let's talk about Trump's classified files. Then came the silence. Not the normal pause where folks wait for the next line. The thick, heavy kind that presses down, because everybody instantly knows something huge is about to break wide open. Stick with this video to the finish, because when you catch Patel's face in that exact instant, the whole picture snaps into focus. New here? Subscribe now and turn on notifications. What just happened in that hearing room is only the opening move. And I want you to catch every twist before the rest of the world does. Let me set the scene clearly. Senate Intelligence Committee, Tuesday afternoon. Confirmation hearing for the FBI director slot. Room overflowing, cameras on every side, reporters crammed in, staffers and security hugging the walls. This wasn't supposed to be the fireworks show. That was meant for last week's Homeland Security nominee. But Amy Klobuchar had different ideas. Kash Patel arrived looking like he owned the place. You know that walk, shoulders squared, suit tailored sharp, the faint smirk of someone convinced he's always 3 moves ahead. He'd sat through dozens of these grill sessions. He knew the playbook cold: deflect smoothly, burn time, serve up answers that sound solid but say nothing, flash a smile, and leave unscathed. He wasn't braced for Klobuchar. First 45 minutes rolled out predictably. Budget numbers, cyber threats, some back and forth on field office staffing. Patel cruised through it, polished, almost detached. He checked his watch twice, flipped a page or two, probably already thinking about dinner. Then Klobuchar's turn arrived. No wasted breath. Director Patel, she began, voice even, almost conversational. There's something that's bothered me for months. Patel gave the polite nod of someone who thinks the ground is still solid. The classified documents recovered from Mar-a-Lago. That tiny flicker in his eyes. If you blinked, you'd miss it. But I was watching. The microsecond of oh hell before the practiced calm slid back into place. Senator, as I've explained in earlier sessions, the Bureau carried out a complete impartial review of that situation. And all conclusions were, I'm not here for reruns of your past statements. Klobuchar opened a blue folder in front of her, thick, neatly tabbed with colored markers. I'm here for what you've left unsaid. The atmosphere in the room dropped like a stone. You could feel the shift. The moment dozens of people realize they're about to watch something unforgettable. Specifically, she went on, why have 17 documents recovered from Mar-a-Lago, documents already marked top secret, sensitive compartmented information, been bumped to an even stricter classification level since you became director? Dead quiet? Not the courteous hush of anticipation. The suffocating kind, where 50 people collectively hold their breath because they know the question isn't for show. Klobuchar came armed. Patel's hands, resting casually moments earlier, now clamped the table edge. Senator, I'm not aware of any unusual reclassification that singled out particular files from that matter. You're not aware. Klobuchar lifted a sheet, angled it so cameras could zoom tight. This is an internal FBI memo, February 8th of this year, 6 weeks after you took the chair. It orders the Information Security Division to run an expedited classification review on every document from the Mar-a-Lago search that references foreign intelligence sources and methods. She placed it down with purpose. It's signed by your Deputy Director for Counterintelligence. Are you telling this committee, under oath, that you had no knowledge of this order? Patel flicked his eyes to his lawyers. Both sat frozen. No quick whispers, no helpful notes. He was on his own. Senator, classification reviews are standard safeguards to protect. Stop. Klobuchar's voice stayed level, but it sliced clean. There's nothing standard about taking documents already at the highest classification and locking them tighter. Nothing standard about targeting files tied to a former president. And nothing standard about the timing. Right after you, a Trump appointee and longtime loyalist, assumed control of the Bureau. That's when it ignited. Patel tried the pivot. Make it about her motives, politics, partisanship. Senator Klobuchar, I find it troubling that members of this committee keep turning oversight into weaponization. Klobuchar's look said it all. No laugh, just quiet steel. You want to discuss weaponization? Let's discuss weaponization. She drew another page. This is a statement from a career FBI agent, 23 years on the job, who served on the Mar-a-Lago document review team. His name is redacted for safety, but his words are unmistakable. She read clearly. On March 14th, I was directed by senior leadership to cease analysis of 3 specific documents recovered from the former president's residence. When I inquired why, I was informed the review had been moved to a restricted access program for which I no longer held clearance. When I noted I possessed TS-SCI clearance and had worked these files for months, I was told the decision originated from the director's office. She lifted her eyes to Patel. That is you, Director. Your office. Patel's face cycled fast. Surprise, he clearly didn't expect this testimony. Anger, someone inside had spoken. Then the familiar mask snapping back into place. Senator, I cannot discuss specifics of ongoing classification. Nothing ongoing here. Klobuchar cut through again. The Mar-a-Lago probe wrapped 14 months ago. Special counsel report filed. Case closed. The only thing still running is your effort to bury evidence. Gallery stirred. Reporters typing furiously. Members leaning in. Patel was sweating now, visible sheen under the lights. Let me keep this straightforward, Klobuchar said, quieter now, which somehow landed harder. 17 documents, recovered from Donald Trump's personal residence, all holding intelligence so sensitive that mere possession outside a SCKIF was a federal crime. And you, the man Donald Trump handpicked for this role, took charge and immediately made those documents even more inaccessible. She let the words settle. Why? Patel opened his mouth once, twice. Senator, safeguarding sources and methods remains paramount. Then release them to this committee in closed session. Klobuchar fired back. We hold clearance. We have SCIF access. If this is truly about sources and methods, prove it. Show us. Unless what you're really shielding isn't intelligence at all, but something else entirely. Pause here. If you've made it this far and feel how enormous this is, do me a favor. Drop a like on this video. Not for me, for the algorithm. This kind of story gets suppressed unless people push it. And leave a comment, anything. Engagement tells YouTube this matters. Take 20 seconds right now. 20 seconds of silence in that hearing. 20 seconds is forever. It's the sound of no defense left. The moment viewers realize history is unfolding live. Patel sat rigid, lawyers useless, rehearsed lines worthless. Everything prepped for weeks. Useless against a senator who'd done her homework and refused to play along. Finally, his voice emerged, defensive, strained. Senator, I categorically reject any suggestion that the FBI under my leadership has shielded any individual from accountability. Classification protocols follow executive orders and statutes that long predate my tenure. Any claim of political influence is... I'm stopping you there, Klobuchar said. You're doing it again. Process answers to substance questions. She leaned forward. Let me try something simpler. Something you should answer easily. Of those 17 reclassified documents, how many reference Donald Trump's handling of classified material? How many show potential violations? How many capture communications between Trump and foreign officials? Patel's jaw locked. Senator, I cannot discuss contents of classified material in open session. Then let's move to closed session right now. Klobuchar's suggestion landed like a challenge. I'll ask the same questions behind closed doors. Will you answer them then? The room erupted. Gasps from the gallery. Members exchanging stunned glances. Reporters scrambling. This was the clip that would lead every broadcast tonight. Patel's deputy counsel half rose to object. Klobuchar never looked his way. Yes or no, Director Patel? Will you answer these questions in classified session before this committee? Patel had no path left. Yes meant facing the contents. Whatever they held would surface to the committee. No meant admitting he was concealing. The quiet stretched. 5 seconds, 10, 15. Senator, Patel finally murmured, almost inaudible, I would need to consult White House counsel and the Director of National Intelligence before agreeing to a closed session on such sensitive... White House counsel. Klobuchar repeated it slowly. So, before you can brief Congress, the body constitutionally tasked with overseeing the FBI, about documents taken from a former president's home, you need permission from the current administration? Patel had no reply. Couldn't have one. Any response would be fatal. Klobuchar collected her papers. Expression a mix of resolve and quiet disgust. Director Patel, here's what I see. A man handpicked by Donald Trump. A man who spent years defending Trump, working for Trump, building his career on loyalty to Trump. And now that same man runs the FBI. systematically restricting access to evidence that could implicate Trump in serious federal offenses. She turned straight to the cameras, not Patel, but every viewer at home. That isn't law enforcement. That's obstruction. And I promise the American people, this committee will get answers, even if I have to subpoena every document, every agent, every piece of evidence myself. The hearing limped on. Other senators asked about counterterrorism, budget gaps. No one paid attention. All anyone could focus on was what Klobuchar had just laid bare on live television. Kash Patel, the man who swore he'd restore trust in the FBI, was actively concealing evidence tied to Donald Trump. Clips spread like wildfire within minutes. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, cable news breaking in, CNN cut programming. MSNBC pulled in legal experts. Even Fox couldn't sidestep it. The debate shifted, not whether Patel reclassified, but what he's hiding and why. This hits harder than most stories you'll see today. For months, we've heard murmurs, anonymous tips, speculation that the Mar-a-Lago files were worse than reported, that some held details so explosive they'd threaten national security, or powerful figures. All whispers until now. Klobuchar brought proof, memos, witness statements, concrete evidence that Patel has deliberately tightened access since day one. She didn't hint. She stated it plainly. You're protecting Trump, not the country. I'm not declaring Trump's guilt. That's not my role. My role is showing you exactly what went down in that room. A U.S. senator, under oath on camera, accused the FBI director of obstructing justice to shield a former president. If that doesn't jolt you, nothing will. Klobuchar's already moving. Subpoenas for all 17 reclassified documents, demand for closed session answers within 2 weeks, call for an inspector general probe into Patel's decisions. She's not alone. 3 more senators, including one Republican, have joined her push. The wall is fracturing. Will it collapse? Washington's buried bigger stories. News cycles spin fast, but this clip, Patel sweating, silent, cornered when asked the simplest question, won't fade. That suffocating quiet when Klobuchar asked why. That's the sound of accountability arriving. America heard it. Subscribe now if you haven't. I'm tracking this every day. When subpoenas land or get ignored, you'll see it here first. When closed session happens or doesn't, I'll unpack it. When the next hearing drops, and it will, you'll get the unfiltered truth, not the polished feed. This is only the opening act. Kash Patel thought loyalty to Trump would armor him. He thought wrong. Amy Klobuchar just showed that some questions can't be dodged. Some silences scream louder than any defense. And some truths, no matter how hard the powerful try to bury them, eventually surface. 3 minutes. That's all it took for Senator Klobuchar to shatter Patel's defenses. 3 minutes to lay the cover-up bare. 3 minutes to voice the question no one else had the nerve to ask. And Patel? He sat there. No answer, no exit, nowhere left to hide. The silence in that room was deafening. Now the whole country is listening.